Alright, now is part 2 of the X tutorial. Alright, so after we have done what we have done on part 1, it's time to create a simple geometry. Right, so the first what we want to do is that we select the front viewport, okay, and press the F3 button to change from wireframe to a shaded view like this. And if you feel the grid is blocking your view, or disturbing your view, you just press G to turn off the grid. G to turn off the grid. Okay, so now back to the perspective view. I'm going to show you how to create the handle. When you look at the handle, we can make it all in one piece. I mean, like the handle, the longest section of the handle. Okay, this one will be a different object for the blade, and also different object for the bottom part of the handle. Alright, so we start with a cylinder, go to create. Alright, standard primitives, we choose cylinder. Okay, and then from the top view, or it could be any view, up to you, but for me I create it from the top view, just a rough cylinder. Alright, okay, a rough cylinder will do. And you can turn on the F4 to see the wireframe on the front viewport. Right now we're going to use the scale tool, and also pressing the alternate X, okay, alternate plus X button to switch to transparency. Alright, then we minimize it, put my mouse at the center here and try to get the thickness right. Okay, bring it down. Okay, just roughly about that. And we're gonna use the scale again, and this time put my mouse at the Y axis on top and just stretch it upwards. Alright, so when that's done, alright, when you look at the picture here at the perspective view, what we're going to do is that we're going to create an indentation of the slanting lines, okay, slanting indentation from the handle. Alright, and I've counted, and it's actually 13 indentation lines throughout the handles. So what we're going to do is once we have created the cylinder and place it like this, we're going to go to modify tool. Alright, and we can reduce the side, okay, the side of the polygon to be just 12 will be enough, but the height segment will be around roughly 13. Okay, so this will cater for each and every lines of this X. Alright, so once we have gotten into this section, we can convert. We right click on the object and choose convert to editable poly. Alright, again, there's a graphic glitches on my PC because I'm using the video capture software. Alright, so once we get that, maybe we can change the name here to X main handle. Alright, it's important to rename every object from the start of your project. Alright, so that you won't end up renaming a lot of objects all at once. Okay, so then you go to Editable Poly, you can expand this. So these are the sub object, the vertex, the edge, and the polygons mainly. Alright, so from here let's just start from, I'm just going to show you one or two how I do it. Okay, and then I'm gonna stop the video and show you the finished version of the indentation. Alright, okay, so let's start with it. Let's skip this for the this indentation. We're gonna make this one for the second and the third. Right, so what I'm gonna do is switch to rotation. Right, and on the front viewport I'm just simply rotating it and also exaggerating my rotation a bit, then switch to my scale tool and not putting my mouse at the center. I'm gonna pull it on the x-axis. Alright, so that it will be straight. Okay, somewhat like that. Okay, still I need to do a little bit more and just pull it there. Right, it doesn't have to be purely accurate as long as it looks good. You know, in people's eyes, it'll be okay. So we're just gonna say it again and put it like that. Rotate. Alright. Alright, just push it down. Alright, so it aligns perfectly based on the picture. Okay, if I hit the alternate X again and look at the shader view, and by the way, this is the bracket, selection bracket. You can just press the J button to hide it if it's interfering your view. Okay, and just switch back to put it down a bit, just giving some rooms. Alright, switch back to transparency. So what we're going to do now is from this single line of edges, right, we'll switch to edges. Single line of edges, we're going to double it up. Okay, I'm going to do all two at once so that I can do it quickly. Okay, so just select just one of the loop edge here, right, and then hit on the selection section on the edge sub object. Alright, you're going to hit the loop button so that it will automatically select the loop of the edges. Alright, and then from there we go to the edit edges section. You're going to hit the chamfer button. Alright, chamfer button. Okay, just hit the chamfer button, but instead of hitting the actual chamfer button, we're going to hit the settings button right on the side of it, small box here, and here it will give us more controls. I'm going to make it more thinner, and instead of one I'm going to make two segments. Alright, so there's two segments here, so hit OK. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to scale down the inner loop segments by hitting the loop button. Alright, then switch to scale. Alright, this time we're gonna put our mouse inside, in the middle, alright, in the middle here, okay, but I'm gonna do it on the front viewport and just scale it down all together a bit. Alright, okay, so that's done. So I switch back to my non-transparent view. You have something like this. Alright, it's a bit like a bamboo. Alright, okay, so from here, this is still a low polygon object, right? Still very boxy, not enough polygon, not smooth enough. So we're going to apply at this stage, we're going to apply the Turbosmooth. So select the main handle. Make sure we are at the editable poly, not at the sub object. We are at the editable poly at the top hierarchy, and go to our modifier list and scroll down till you see the Turbosmooth. Apply the Turbosmooth. Increase the iteration to maybe 2 and pick the isoline display for a more less complex wireframe, right? But as you look at it, even from the front, you see there's a curve here. It shouldn't be a curve, it should be a straight. Okay, this is because the interpolation of the Turbosmooth is not doing, it's not straightening up. It is still like, you need to control it, control the edges. So go down to the edge mode again. What we're going to do is we're going to add more. We're going to add more of the uh, edges to further define. This is supposed to be sharp. We're going to tell the Turbosmooth that this along the edges should be sharp. Sharp edges, not smooth. Right, select. Okay, like select the outer part of this. Right, you can just do it all at once. Select the bottom part of this and hit the loop button. Alright, so we'll select the whole loop of it. Alright, and then you can switch to transparent alternate X. For these purposes, I untransparent it so that you can see it clearer. So what we're going to do is still doing the same method, chamfer. Alright, chamfering it. Okay, and make sure we it's only one. We only want one segments, so make it very close together like this, and press OK. So now we have a more defined geometry, right? And then we're going to, while you're at the down here and you have Turbosmooth on top, this is the top effect that is applying to the 3D object. You can also turn this on, show end result, to show what's being applied on top. And as you can see, it is more defined here, right? You at the perspective mode, you can hit the Shift Q, the shortcut key, or click on this teapot render production button to actually see how it looks like in the final rendering. Okay, it looks very smooth, very nice. Yes, so you want this to be applied on all of the segments down here. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this video, and later when I come back, I'll show you the finished look of the handle. Okay, see you after this. Okay, and we're back. So this is how it looks like, right? The finished model, although you can refine it furthermore by, say, can always add one extra edges over here. And also, if you look at the top part here, right, if you look at the Turbosmooth, you look like a pillow, right? You look like a pillow over here. So basically very soft, so we can actually just delete this top and also at the bottom of the edges, and just press the delete button to delete the polygon on top and the bottom. So what will happen if you apply, if you Turbosmooth will not affect it, and you will have a very straight on top of it. Alright, you won't have that curve. Okay, and for example, if you want to make it more further refined here, you can go to the edge subject level. You can just select one of or two of the edges here and hit the ring button. So what you will do is that when you press the connect button on the edit edges connect button, it will create one additional edges loop. Alright, so what will happen is that it will be more hard on the side. So you can do this all at once by just selecting all the edges here. Alright, and also when I press Alt X, I do want to create one more edges. I actually lack of one more segment here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna also select the edge right here and hit the ring button. Okay, so every ring is selected and press the connect button over here. Alright, so that will add on, and let me have an extra edges to work with. So I hit on the vertex subobject level. Okay, and yeah, by the way, my selection is now lasso selection. You can change that over here. Okay, just click and hold. You can change to your box selection, your normal default box selection, or if you want, you can. For me, for difficult angle, I prefer the lasso selection. Right, so from here, I just do my rotation a bit, add my scaling, just slightly rough it like that, should be okay. Alright, so you hit the loop, chamfer again, 2, okay, press OK, just like I did before. Hit the loop, scale it inwards, then select outwards, and also chamfer it one time. Okay, and should be done. Hit Alt X to see the final result, and everything should be very peachy. Okay, you can also select a ring here and connect to add one more to strengthen the straightness of it. Hit the F4 to turn off the wireframe, and yeah, this is the finished section of the X. Then you can go on, I'm sure from here you can go on model this on a separate cylinder, put it in the middle here, and also at the bottom of this part you can model this section, and this you can use a sphere and put it inside it. Okay, alright, so hope this helped. Then part 3 videos, I'm going to show you how to model the blade of the axe by using just a box, starting with box. Okay, alright, see you in part 3.